I'm trying to position myself a little bit in the light, but the back of the van is probably not a good way to talk or film anyway right now. Clouds are starting to cover up. So what am I talking about today is my journey of, well, the digital nomad journey that I wanted to pursue 5 years ago. So this is my 5-year recap of what happened and why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And I'm in the middle, or at the start, of a complete overhaul of my whole situation. And this is why I'm doing this video, in order to let you guys in on my journey, as I wanted to since the start. And some of you have been following me since the start, some of you haven't. Most of the people that are coming to my channel at the moment are completely new. So let's do this introduction and make this video as short as possible in order to get a lot of people in on my journey on what's happening and what has happened. So I'm Alexa. I live with 2 dogs, or rescue dogs, in a van, in a box van. And that's what I've been doing since 5 years. So I had no idea what I'm getting myself into, to becoming someone that works from a laptop and travels alongside it and has his own or her own working hours that they do and whatnot. So I had no idea of this whole situation. My whole life was only focused on 9-to-5 jobs. Factory jobs, farm jobs. That's all I knew. That's all I knew my whole life, my whole working life. And that's how I started, or that's how it continued my life. And I'm like, there must be something else. How are these other people doing, learning things from their laptop and working with their laptop? How do you do it? How do you work from your laptop? What actually do you do? What kind of a job do you do? Because I always was like, I have no qualifications, I have no degrees, I have no university certificates, I have no professional qualifications that I could show anyone in any jobs in order to get a higher paid job so I can actually do what I like to do. Yeah, so I just looked into what do you actually need to do in order to work from your laptop. Do you need qualifications? What is the possibilities? And the more, to not get into this too much, the more I looked into this, the more I seen the possibilities that are there. I just have to do some quick courses in order to get my head around the new job description and then go for it myself. And that's when I discovered Upwork, that's when I discovered Fiverr, that's when I discovered all the other platforms that are offering temporary jobs. And I was like always freaking out. Temporary jobs, it's like, because of my mindset of 9-to-5, it always needed to be an 8-hour job, otherwise I wouldn't be able to sustain myself. And that's how I was thinking the whole time, and that just didn't work out. I had to learn basically to be able to work whatever hours that come in, whatever makes me satisfied, in order to, like, money wise, in order to be able to sustain myself. And so I started looking into, it was a real hard rewiring of the brain, what's out there and what's going on. I started looking into, the first thing I started looking into was Facebook Ads Manager. And I started looking into all these gurus that were offering courses in order to get there, because again, I did not have any clue about how to do it and how to get it for free and all that. I mean, I have some sort of gut feeling when something is off and you shouldn't do it, and it's just too much money to invest and you won't get much out of it, or that it's just like empty talk and they want to get you in to buy a super expensive course with like nothing coming out of it. You just spend your money and you get scammed. And I had kind of gut feelings on who would be doing that and who is just empty talk and who could I trust and all that. And so I went into Facebook Ads Manager, so I learned that. just briefly. And I just noticed I just can't get anywhere with it. I just didn't really get the grasp of it. So I moved on to virtual assistant jobs and looked up that on Upwork. Had a few requests and had a few exchanges with people, but that's all it went with. And then what I moved on with, just to not make this too long, this whole journey went on for the next 5 years, through to print on demand. I've done that for quite a while. In order to, I was like, oh yeah, I'm crafty, I'm artistic, I like to draw and I like to use pencils and all that. So I start drawing my own stuff and then learn how to sell it and do a Shopify store and do Google ads, and I got into all this stuff. And then it's just like all this journey is like up and down, up and down, up and down. It's just like crazy. So I continued because I wanted to make this work. So I started one after the other, like finished one, say okay, let's scrap it, scrap this, move on to the next, move on to the next. Then looked into copywriting. And so I was like, that is actually a real thing that I can do and just get my own clients and whatnot. And then moved on to web design because it just didn't add up with me. It's like thinking about what to write and all that, it's just like too hard because I'm not a writer. I can't sit down for hours and just think about writing, let my mind just drift off and just write. Can't do it. I just basically forced myself into all these positions in order to get a quick cash influx, in order to move forward. That's what my mindset was. It's like, any of this I don't actually want to do, but if it makes me money online, I'll go with it so I can fuel my travels, right? And can fuel what I'd like to do. And that was my only push. It's like, none of that stuff I actually want to do, because I was always in the belief I need to get somewhere else first. I need to make something else work first in order to pursue my dream, start my dream work of working with animals and travel at the same time. That's how I ended up for the past 5 years, trying one thing after the other. And ended up with web design, and then found, due to AI rising so quickly, it's like, okay, found the software, web design didn't work out. I offered my website services for free. I offered my website services for amounts that I thought would be appropriate for beginners, and none amount actually made it work. None. And I'm like, by that time I was like, what in the actual world is going on with me? What is happening here? Because I put a video out, like, I think it was last winter, when I questioned everything. I was like, how the heck is nothing moving forward? How the heck can I not even get someone in the closest town to me in order to get a website going? By that point, some of you guys probably out there had already a ton of clients, made a lot of experiences, had a lot of reviews, and went on with traveling. But I was still stuck. I was still like, gosh, what am I supposed to do now? And got more and more devastated. My confidence completely destroyed. The person that I was no longer. Before, I was no longer. And then nothing added up anymore, and I got more and more devastated. And there needs to be sales marketing coming into this play, and I had no clue about how to sell to people properly. You have to have a story. You have to emotionally create a connection with those people, emotionally to the product, in order to be able to sell properly. And you have to make them think they're missing out on something if they don't get it. And I just couldn't do that. I just couldn't bend myself backwards in order to just get that stuff sold. And that's when I stopped. I was like, I have enough of getting drained in order to just be myself and get things going for this situation. I really liked to do those things. I'd done my own websites this whole time, and I learned a lot. I did learn a lot about in this subject, and I just couldn't make it work going further. And I just like, I have enough of talking about it. I really have, because if there's nothing moving forward, what's the point of just using it, you know? I'm not a person like that can talk for years about a subject and just nobody listens. So it's just that's it, move on next. So again, that was the software just recently, the Go High Level software that I was promoting, and that was probably the final nail in the coffin when that just went onto like completely deaf ears to everybody as well. I was basically finding myself trapped in the same situation as with the websites. People didn't even care less about a software that I was telling them you need to use in order to level up your business. It looked to me like nobody cared about their business leveling up. They're happy where they are and they don't want to move up. They don't want to earn more. They don't want to earn less. They're just happy where they are. And after that, I was like, okay, no more. Questioned everything, just stopped everything. Went into a deep hole, I have to say, about my self-confidence and about this whole situation. Why is all this happening to me? Because I did not understand why I can't move on and live the life that I want to do, that I want to live. And it just ended up in a complete mess and a complete nightmare. Me having no enthusiasm anymore whatsoever, completely everything is bad, everything is sad, everything doesn't work, and I can't move on. So it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And I still keep pushing, by the way. I still have not given up on this dream of being able to do my own thing and just make it work for myself and be happy with it, be fulfilled with it. So that was my whole story about the digital nomad journey, and it wasn't a fun one. So I learned that there is stuff online that you can do. The online world is crazy huge. Like, there is tons of things that you could do online in order to pursue a career. And the thing was, for me, the quick buck just didn't happen. And that's what I was always after, the quick buck. Do this for a few months and then move on. Do that for a few months and then move on to the things I actually want to do, which is working with animals. And yeah, for me, that didn't happen. What I'm going to do now, which is going to come into the next video that I'm going to film right after this. If you want to watch this, you're welcome to. And what I'm going to talk about in my next video is like what I'm going to do now in order to pursue my actual happiness, what I actually want to do, which is working with animals. So I'm scrapping everything. I'm no longer offering AI services. I no longer offer websites. I no longer offer softwares to sell and to maintain. I scrap all this and I go back to my actual things that I would like to do, which is going to be working with animals. I have no idea how I'm going to do this yet. I'm going to make a plan, which is already started, but I'm going to have to refine this a little bit. As well as I'm going to talk on this channel more about my healthy journey of why I stopped using conventional shop products and where did it get me, like this whole journey with my dog, and talk more about my dog, which I have in the past few videos as well. I'm going to talk about that more, and the next video is just going to be how I'm moving on from now, pursuing actually what I want to do. Again, I don't know how this is going to look like. I would like to get into animal communication and nutrition. So these are two main pillars of what I actually would like to do. I think something in terms of like a mixture of Dr. Karen Becker. because she is a nutritionist and she has a few books out, and she's someone that I look up to really much, because that's what I wanted to pursue my whole life anyway. But I was always pushed away by society, telling me you have not got qualifications and therefore you're not able to do it. And the other one I'm looking into is animal communicators. So I'm kind of making a mixture of the two, but we'll see what I'm gonna be falling towards more. That's where kind of my direction is going. Whatever I do from now on, I want to do, because this is what I would like to do long term, right? Not like, oh, it makes me a quick buck. I would like to do this long term. Yeah, I hope you follow me on this journey, because I'm going to keep documenting things of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, because obviously I'm going to film it. What I would like to do lifelong, long term, is working with animals and doing my crafty stuff and traveling along, plus having a place on my own where I can rehabilitate dogs that are having a hard time or had a rough time in their past lives with their past owners and stuff like that. So that is my whole purpose of my whole life that I want to do. And yeah, I hope you're going to be on this journey with me, and welcome to the new watchers as well, and thanks for watching this long, because it's probably now ends up being a longer video again. But again, I wanted to just bring this out there and tell people what my journey is going to be. Anyways, I'm going to pop that in the next video as well, in a little bit more detail, if nobody watches until this point, and explain a little bit more about my journey from now on, what I'm going to do. So just to have this all in a little bit of a summary bubble of the situation that's happening right now. And I'm actually very excited. I'm very excited of moving forward with this stuff that I want to do. So if you're with me, absolutely perfect. If not, that's fine by me. Everybody has their own pursuits and lives to live, so absolutely fine. Again, thanks for watching this long, and I'll see you in the next one where I sum up what's happening now.